Hello and welcome back to the Azure DevOps course. In this lesson, we'll start creating our project. Our project will be public, so all of you can view and access the pipeline and the repos. You all will have the access for it. So I'll give it a name, Azure DevOps course. Okay, create project. Now we created our course project. If you go here in the pipelines section, you will see pipelines, environments, library. But there is something missing. The classic releases and the deployments groups and task groups. Also, if you try to make a classic pipeline, create pipeline, you can make a classic pipeline. So by default, Azure DevOps disable you to create classic releases or classic pipelines. Microsoft does this to encourage using the new YAML pipelines because it is better to make the pipelines in a code. It's better for collaboration in audit and security. So Microsoft encouraging you to use the new YAML pipelines and make the CI/CD all in one YAML pipeline. But you can enable it. And in my course, I will explain how to use both the classic pipelines and the new YAML pipelines. So let's enable it. We will go in the organization settings. In pipeline settings. Here, disable creation of classic release pipelines and disable creation of classic build pipelines. Make it off and make it off. Okay, if we return to our project, now we can create a classic release or classic pipelines, and we can make a deployment group or task group. If we try to create a classic pipeline here, create pipeline, you can create a classic pipeline. Okay, but there is still one problem before making our pipelines. The problem is, by default, Azure DevOps will not give you the free parallel job. If you go in the organization settings, in parallel jobs here, by default for private projects, the Microsoft hosted jobs is 0 parallel job, but it's supposed to be 1 parallel job, and in public projects it's also 0. It's supposed to be 10 parallel jobs. So Microsoft disable it by default. For new organization to have a free parallel jobs, you must make a request, fill a form for to make a request to have your free parallel jobs. So to make this request, we will go here, Azure DevOps Parallelism request form in Google, and click here in the first and fill our form. We will give the name email address, our organization name. Are you requesting for parallelism increase for public or private? It's a public project. Here it tells me to give a link to the public repositories you plan to build. By default, if I come in repos here, Azure DevOps creates for you a repo with your project name. It's created by default for your project. It is with the name of the project. So I will have, I will take its link. Here it tells me to provide an explanation for why I'm making a public project. So I typed here my justification for using public project, making demo pipelines and releases for making course in Azure DevOps. And now I will submit. Now Microsoft should respond in maximum 3 or 4 days. After Microsoft responds, we should have our temporary jobs here. So that's the end of this lesson. We created our public project. We enabled the classic pipelines and releases. We filled the request form for the parallel jobs. In the next lesson, we will start using Azure repos, creating a repo and pushing our .NET Core demo project on it. See you in the next lecture.